And let me ask you this, because this is what I experienced when you first met your wife, and she's a stable, healthy, mature woman. Did you find it boring? I was hooked in that type of woman. That's purposely what I went for, because it's like crack, man. It's so addicting and impulsive and just fun, but it's so unhealthy for you, dude.
And imagine getting to where you're at right now if you were on that roller coaster. Like, you could never build. Nope. Like, it wasn't until I met my wife, because incidentally, I've been with her for the last 4 years, and look, and I've been able to build something, because I wasn't on this. I'm just on this, like, stable foundation,
And let me ask you this, because this is what I experienced when you first met your wife, and she's a stable, healthy, mature woman. Did you find it boring?
Yeah, there's no, I wouldn't say boring. There's an element of contrast there where it's like, yeah, and it's different. So you have to teach yourself. It's like, I don't want that crazy shit, because like you crave that unhealthy thing, and then I had to realize it's like, this peacefulness is like, this is the desirable thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, I wouldn't phrase it as boring, but like, it can feel that way if you put them side by side sometimes, and you're like, like, where's the fucking crazy? And it's like, but if you get the crazy, guess what? You get the other half of the crazy too, and it's going to be a shit show, and you can't live your life. And like, especially for men to have a purpose, man. Like, if you have something important, you're going to do this. For anybody watching, it's like you're fucked. Like, I couldn't have done, like, I have, my income is like skyrocketed since I've been with my wife, and before that, like, when I was in that roller coaster ride, and there's so many other benefits too. I'm not even going to go long winded on this thing. But making that choice to wean yourself off of that emotional stimulus. And by the way, like, I still have had these super intense moments with my wife. Like, our first date was the best first date I've ever had. I've taken her more places and put more effort into her than any other woman combined. And I was dating 6 girls when I met her, and I cut them all off for her. So it's like, even though we're phrasing this as like, she's like the safe choice, it's like, no, she's fucking awesome too. She's a jiu-jitsu blue belt. She's an entrepreneur, like all these things. So it's not boring. It's just not crazy.
Yeah. And that's a wonderful, and you know what? I applaud you for the better choice of verbiage than I say with boring, because it's funny how our lives are very parallel, because again, when I met my love witch, healthy, smart, beautiful, well-rounded woman. And I remember saying, I was in my mind, am I bored? What's going on here? And I was finding a way to self-sabotage and get out of it, because I didn't know what I had. And it turns out, like you said, I had peace, and this is what a relationship is supposed to be. And the more I actually told her about it, I go, this is how I'm feeling. It's not you. I don't know what's wrong with me, but through therapy and just thinking about it, every relationship I've had, man, even my parental, family, friends, every relationship I've ever had has been bad, toxic, or just horrible. And that's all I was used to. So here comes somebody who's, giving me peace, and somebody who's really just a wonderful, rounded person who's listening to me, and there's no conflict. My body had to adjust to it. And can you believe that? It was like a shock to the system.
And there's so many other people out there, like, in that same position. Like, I'll talk to people, and my wife is versed on trauma. Like, she's read all the trauma books and stuff, and I'm still educating myself on some of this stuff.
Awesome.
But I'll, she'll point out to me sometimes when I'm on calls, because she'll be in the background sometimes, and she'll be like, yeah, this person has a history of abuse. Like, that's why they're with this person, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, there's so many people stuck there. Like, their norm is so twisted.
Yeah.
That they can't see the dysfunction,
That's so heartbreaking, man. But I'm glad we both have great, wonderful women in our lives that we're putting a ring on it, and we're not letting them go, dude. Because again, look how much we've prospered. And since she's been part of my life, again, look how I've prospered. I mean, I'm not to the level you're at with the coaching network and all that, but I'm getting there. And she's moved in, and there's like, I was actually worried, because I hadn't lived with anybody since my marriage, and it's been smooth. It's been wonderful, dude. Like a wonderful, a wonderful change that I needed.